Welcome everyone to TFL football on Al Wilson's Fast Drive Football, brought to you by Lake Effect Games. So this week 12, our doubleheader is the 9-2 Cleveland Coyotes versus the 6-5 Roswell Destroyers. And for the first time this season, and surprisingly somehow this early, we have a game with playoff clinching scenario as the 4-7 Devils meet the 6-5 Lexington Cavalry, Dakota Devils, sorry. So, why this early for a playoff clincher? Because the Northwest Division has one really good team and four teams that are doing absolutely horribly this season. The Salt Lake Mustangs are 11-1, and they were 10-1 at the end of last week, obviously. And if they won this week and got losses from Dakota, Anchorage, and Reno, they would already have the Northwest Division locked up in week 12 of 18. It's almost unheard of. They won their game, and Anchorage and Reno have both fallen, so now it falls to Dakota to delay that division victory for one more week. Also, another thing, I am on vacation from work this week, so we may burn through 2 weeks over this week, maybe even 3, depending on how much time I have on my hands. So, without further ado, as always, halftime of the first game, we'll go over this week's scores. In between the games, we'll go over the standings and playoff picture. And halftime of the second game, we'll go through the next week's matchups, in this case, week 13. I've decided that I'm going to I'm going to YouTube all playoff games. The first 2 weeks are going to be on 2 doubleheaders each, one for East, one for West. Then the conference championship doubleheader, and then finally the second table. Welcome to the Table Football League. So now, without further ado, let's get started on game 1. The Cleveland Coyotes and the Roswell Destroyers. Roswell will get the ball first. .53, that is average field position for Roswell. The Destroyers' offense is semi-solid, semi-undisciplined, and semi-inefficient. And the Cleveland Coyotes' defense is semi-punishing. So with that in mind, first possession. 1-4-6. Staunch defense? No. Ball carrier stiff arms the linebacker and sprints to the end zone. Touchdown! So, that is a touchdown run with only 1 off the clock. And the Destroyers getting started early. And it's good. Destroyers needed 64 and under to get the extra point. And they lead right off the bat 7-0. That might have been, the old one play. A good 60-yard run that the Coyote defense didn't see coming. Average field position for the Coyotes. Coyotes offense is prolific, semi-dynamic, solid, reliable, and efficient. Destroyers defense is staunch, stiff, semi-meek, and active. So it's a prolific offense versus a staunch defense. This could be fun. Three, four, five. Dynamic or home offense? Semi-dynamic, yes. Dynamic attack by offense pushes team into scoring range. So 3 ticks off. A field goal attempt. 63 and under for the Coyote kicker. And he's going to nail that with ease. To knock the Destroyers' lead to 4. $15 for a kickoff. I believe that's poor field position. Returner muffs the catch and is caught before he can get upfield. Poor field position. And a punt, 15, I think, is a possible block. 4-4-5. Erratic offense, no. Disciplined defense, no. So that's a field goal attempt for the Destroyers to try to get that touchdown lead back. 53 and under. And he nails it. So the score is now 10-3 hometown Destroyers. Average field position. Two, 4, 6. Dull offense, no. Runner turns the corner, has nothing but daylight. Touchdown! Coyotes. And that's a touchdown run. And it's good. And we now, at the tail end of the first quarter, have a tie ball game. Average field position for the Destroyers. One, 4. Prolific offense, no. Erratic offense, no. So that is a punt. The first possession of this game. That's not going to result in a score. $14. Rolled 1d6 on a roll of 6. Punter or returner is in the open. Otherwise, average. Nope. So, average field position for the Cleveland Coyotes. So, anybody watching, who is your favorite team to Well, we'll go over the standings and then I'll ask this question. So, one, two, three. Poor field position, no. Great field position, no. And that is a punt. It's maybe the end of the first quarter, depending on what happens here. 41, that's average field position. We go on to the second quarter. Score is currently 10-10. Three, four, five. Dynamic or home offense? Yes. The dynamic attack by offense pushes team into scoring range. So they're going to go for the field goal. With 3 ticks off the clock. And it's good. So like that, the Destroyers are back in the lead, 13-10. Average field position for the Coyotes. Three, five, six. Sorry. Disciplined offense, no. Reliable offense or meek defense? Well, reliable and also semi-meek. So that's a punt. Sure interception is dropped. So there's a cornerback out there wishing they can get that back. As we are now halfway through the second quarter. That is poor field position. Barely still poor field position. Let's see what the Destroyers can do once again inside their own 20. Last time, they got a field goal out of it. 2, 3, 6. Prolific offense, no. Porous offense, no. And that is a punt. So it did not go as well for them as last time. $15, this could be a block. Let me see how that goes again. On roll of 1 or 2, the punt is blocked. Otherwise, average field position. 3, so that's average. Can the Coyotes do anything before the half? Oh, okay. I don't know if this season any unusual events have been broadcast on my channel. I know I've had a few, but I don't know if they've been here on YouTube. So, Table B. 14. Double reverse with the quarterback providing the key block to spring the runner. Touchdown! So that is a touchdown run for the Coyotes. And a 55 is good. So for the first time tonight, the Coyotes are in the lead. That's a possible fumble. That is not a fumble, though. Return team recovers after a mad scramble backward. That's poor field position once again for the Destroyers. And they got to do something before this game starts to get away from them. Efficiency roll. They are inefficient. So 1, 3, 4, but for clock's sake, that's a 2. Poor field position, yes. Runner tripped up short of the marker, so punt. .42 is average field position, so we're going to call that at the end of the half. Halftime score, the Cleveland Coyotes 17, the Roswell Destroyers 13. So, excuse me, the Week 12 scores. Salt Lake defeats Charleston 17-16. Savannah over Reno in overtime. Savannah Red Wolves over the Reno 21s in overtime, 28-26. The Birmingham Flyers over the Cheyenne Locos, 18-14. Birmingham has been on a roll as of late. They were originally looking like the worst team in the league, but Nashville Jacks over the Anchorage Bears, 35-6. The DC Majors over the Phoenix Howlers, 42-31. Jersey City Wise Guys over the Tulsa Twisters, 29-27. Mexico City Golden Eagles take out the Syracuse Outlaws, 21-20. And finally, the Anaheim Icons beat the Halifax Ice Dogs, 28-26. So, Reno falls in overtime. The 21s fall in overtime, and the Bears never stood a chance. It is time for the third quarter. And the Coyotes will get the ball first. Average field position. Sorry. So 2-3-3. Solid offense, yes. So that's field goal. One of 2 ticks. And it's good. Score is now 20-13. Time for kickoff. Average field position for the Destroyers. We're down by a touchdown. 266. I feel like that's the only 6'6". That does not bode well. Passive defense, no. Clumsy offense or active defense, neither. So that is a punt. Poor field position for the Coyotes. Now let's see what Cleveland can do. $156. Anybody watching, if you're from any of these cities, give us, let me know in the comments. Not just the cities or the areas in this week's games, but anywhere in the league. Poor field position, yes. Offense doesn't score, but we'll try to flip field position. Punt. .34 average field position. .335. Great field position, no. Drive stalls just short of field goal range, so that's going to be a coffin corner punt. Poor field position again. It would be average, but not with a coffin corner. .344. Mild or undisciplined defense? No. Defense comes through with big stop when it was needed. Coffin corner punt. So they match him right back. And that'll be poor field position. Sorry. And we've got another unusual result. And once again, it's the twos. This time it's table A. Don't often see the table A. So, 12. Offense fails to convert on 4th and inches. Defense takes over with great field position. So, going into the fourth quarter, score is 20-13. Turnover on downs. And great field position. Great field position for the Coyotes. .244. Poor field position, no. Good thing too, because that'd be a safety. Inept defense, no. So field goal attempt. .64 and under. Just gets it. is 23-13. Kickoff. Average field position for Roswell. One, two, three. Poor field position, no. Great field position, no. Punt. Average field position. Yes, I'm counting that. One, two, three, again. So I think we could just, skip all the we don't know it's there. Because it's poor or great field position. And punt. We are halfway through the fourth quarter. Average field position for Roswell. Two, two, three. I thought that was going to happen again. Undisciplined defense? No. Mild defense? No. So a punt. We've got a possible fumble. So 13 is a fumble. Let's see. 1 to 3, punting team recovers in great field position. Otherwise, receiving team in average field position. So that is Cleveland in average. Two, two, four. Aggressive defense, no. Disciplined defense, no. So punt. So great field position. Looks like a bit too little, too late. Three, four, six. Well, the game's over. So the final score is 23-13 for the Cleveland Coyotes. Give me a second. And the Cleveland Coyotes become the second team in the 10 wins club, while the Roswell Destroyers fall to 500. So, as it stands, here are the, standings. Northeast, the Cleveland Coyotes are 10-2. The DC Majors and Jersey City Wise Guys 7-5. And the Syracuse Outlaws and Halifax Ice Dogs 3-9. In the Southeast, Nashville, the Nashville Jacks at 9-3. Lexington Cavalry 6-5. They haven't had their game yet. Charleston Minutemen and Savannah Red Wolves at 6-6. And the Birmingham Flyers at 5-7. In the Northwest, the Salt Lake Mustangs obliterating the division at 11-1. Dakota Devils haven't played their game yet. They're 4-7 right now. They could go 5-7 or 4-8, and then we put a little Y next to the Salt Lake right there. The Anchorage Bears and Reno 21s are 4-8, and the Cheyenne Locos are 3-9. In the Southwest, the Anaheim Icons are 8-4. The Roswell Destroyers, Mexico City Golden Eagles, and Tulsa Twisters are all 6-6. And the Phoenix Howlers are 5-7. Yes, there is a possibility that the Phoenix Howlers, the worst team in the Southwest, might have a playoff spot currently over the Dakota Devils, who are the second place in the Northwest. So I really hope that's going to, fix that up. In playoff picture in the East, Cleveland at 1 and Nashville at 2 with the week off. Number 3, DC facing number 6, Charleston. And number 4, Jersey City versus number 5, Lexington. In the West, numbers 1 and 2, Salt Lake and Anaheim taking the week off. 3, Roswell taking on either what would be, at this point, either Dakota or Phoenix. And Mexico City versus Tulsa. I really don't think the last team in a division should be anywhere near the playoffs, but it's possible. Anyway. So, coming up to the second game, the Dakota Devils and the Lexington Cavalry. Where's Lexington? I just had them. There. So, here we go. The Devils will get the ball first. They are currently 4-7. The Cavalry are 6-5. Kickoff. Average field position for Dakota. In the halftime, we'll go over the Week 13 matchups. Three, 6, 6. Poor field position, no. Offense pushes downfield and Caps drive with short pass for 6 points. Touchdown, Devils. And it took a good darn long time, too. So good on them. And also, That's the first touchdown pass. Oh, hold up. I messed something up earlier. The first touchdown pass of tonight. All the touchdowns in the Cleveland Roswell game were runs. So, also, Dakota offense. Semi-dull, shaky, disciplined, and efficient. Lexington defense is semi-mild, semi-meek, and semi-passive. Dakota needs 63 or under to make this field goal, or this extra point. And they got it. And once again, off to a flying start in this game as the first possession ends in a touchdown. Average field position for Lexington. And a quick look at the Lexington Cavalry. Offense is semi-inefficient. Dakota defense is passive and semi-disciplined. So, the Lexington Cavalry are also semi-electric in the kickoff return. 1-3-6. Prolific offense, no. Stiff defense, no. So punt. Cavalry will be forced to kick it away. Regular kickoff, or a regular punt, I believe 11 or 12 is average field position. 11-12, punt return team electric, no. Average field position. Two, 4, 5. Dynamic offense or soft defense? No. Porous offense? No. So that'll be a coffin corner punt. And here he goes. 43. I think that's still poor, but it might be average. Nope, it's just poor. Average begins at 45. So, not good for the cavalry. 1-2-6. Reliable offense or meek defense? Neither. Shaky offense or aggressive defense? Neither. Punt. So, at the end of the first quarter, the score is 7-0 Devils. Poor field position for the Devils. One, 4, 6. Staunch defense. No. Ball carrier stiff arms a linebacker and sprints to the end zone. That is a touchdown run for the Devils. So they are leaping out to a, sorry, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. That extra point is good. And they jump out to a 14-0 lead in the second quarter. Possible fumble. Unlike the punt, the fumble is different and more than just 4. Return team recovers quickly, but with poor field position. The Cavalry is not having a good day. That is their second straight possession behind their own 20. 1, 2, 5. Solid offense? No. Punishing defense? No. So punt. $16. That is definitely poor. Yep. Perfect punt, execution, pins return team deep in their own end. So Dakota's second straight poor position and the 4th straight of the game. 2-2-6. Secure offense? No. Passive defense? Yes. Loose ball bounces right back to ball carrier. So another punt. And another possible fumble. And that is poor field position. No, that's average field position. Self-recovery. But drilled as soon as he picks it back up. 1-3-6. Prolific offense? No. Stiff defense? No. Punt. So that Lexington punter is getting a bit of a workout. Average field position for the Dakota Devils. Three, 4, 6. Great field position, no. Erratic offense, nope. Or disciplined defense, no. Field goal attempt. So Devils kicker is going to try to make it 17-0, 63 and under, and he gets it. So the field goal is good. And it's 17-0. Oh, we've got a possible electric. And no. So that is great field position for the Cavalry. Nothing going right for them now. 156. Poor field position. No. Great field position. A kickoff attempt, or a field goal attempt to close out the half. Need 54 and under. And he's got it. The kicker puts the Cavalry on the board just before halftime, or just at halftime. And at halftime, the score is the Dakota Devils 17, the Lexington Cavalry 3. So week 13 matchups. We've got the Syracuse Outlaws and the Cleveland Coyotes. The DC Majors face the Savannah Red Wolves. Halifax Ice Dogs and the Jersey City Wise Guys. Lexington Cavalry and the Nashville Jacks. The Birmingham Flyers and the Charleston Minutemen. The Reno 21s and the Salt Lake Mustangs. The Anchorage Bears and the Dakota Devils. Cheyenne Locos and the Roswell Destroyers. The Anaheim Icons and the Tulsa Twisters. And finally, the Phoenix Howlers and the Mexico City Golden Eagles. Gonna look at the picture and see where we go from there, and see which ones I'm gonna broadcast next week. A couple of days probably. So Lexington will receive the kickoff after just scoring that before halftime field goal. And then we'll start with average field position. .336. Staunch defense, no. Stiff defense, no. Touchdown pass. So way to go. Back-to-back scores. And it's good. So the score is now 17-10. Is this the beginning of, well, not the beginning, is this a comeback on its way? Average field position for the Devils. And they need to do something. .245. Dynamic offense or soft defense? No. Porous offense? No. So coffin corner punt. Possible fumble. And once again, no. So, actually, hold on. Might be different with a coffin corner. No, it's the same. It's poor field position this time for receiving team recovery. So it's poor field position for the Cavalry. They've now fumbled 3 turnover kicks. and managed to keep all three of them. 4-4-6. Poor field position, yes, but offense finds a way to get into field goal range. .54 and under for the Lexington kicker. And he's got it. It's now 17-13. And not gonna lie, Reno kind of went through the same issue. They weren't up by a whole 17, but it was like 14-point lead late in the third quarter. Average field position for the Devils. And they need to get something going. 3-5-5. Prolific offense, no. Inept defense, no. Coffin corner punt. Just a quarter ago, they had a 17-point lead. And now they've got the Cavalry nipping at their heels. It doesn't seem to matter where on the field they are. They've scored at average. They've scored at, well, in order. They've scored at great, average, and poor. They're in poor field position again. 1-3-4. Poor field position, punt. So, no points this time. Average field position for Dakota. Two, 4, 6. This could be the break they needed. Dull offense. No, because of the decider. Runner turns the corner and has nothing but daylight. That's a touchdown run in the fourth quarter. Dakota didn't manage to score at all in that third quarter while giving up 10. But they've got something now. And it's good. It's now 24-13. Average field position. Cavalry don't want to lose that steam now. 2-3-6. Prolific offense, no. Porous offense, no. And punt. So it looks like the momentum is starting to shift back to the Devils. One away from great field position, but it looks like the Devils are going to have it at their own 45-yard line. Which I would consider great. Be anything inside opponent field position. 2-4-5. Dynamic offense or soft defense? No. Damn. Porous offense? No. Coffin corner. So, taking off more of the clock. Another possible fumble on the punt. That is 4 now. And once again, when you watch this, rewind to look at all of these possible fumbles, and it was a 4 every single time. So I believe that's the one that's poor field position. So yeah. Four, 4, 6. And that's not going to be good. Poor field position, yes. But they do get into field goal range. 54 and under. And they got it. So 24-16. And they're going to go for the onside kick. Five, nope. So, great field position for the Devils. All right. Two, 4, 4. Poor field position, no. Inept defense, no. Field goal attempt. And it's good. And that's the end of the game. Final score is 27-16. Hold on. All right. So, that means Lexington drops to 6-6. And the Devils are 5-7, which means Salt Lake still has yet to win the division, but they can win it next week with just a win. Hold on. Worst they can do now is 11-7. Yeah, they need. with just a win next week, Salt Lake can win the division, or a Dakota loss. Does not have to be and anymore. But right now, Dakota has the 6th spot in the Western playoffs, in the Western playoff picture. So, until next time, we will see you for Week 13. This has been Table Football League on Al Wilson's Fast Drive Football. Have a great night.